Hello, YouTube. I think it's live now. Fucking hell, this is a bit of a disaster. But yeah. So basically, about 10 months ago, Bane sent me a link to a certain feminist. But
I have no idea what this is, by the way. I'm about to be surprised. So.
Well, right. I'm just going to quickly check that we are actually live. Yes, we are.
Yep.
And Bane sent me this feminist 10 months ago, but I never got round to doing a response. And now, because it's extremely crazy, I thought this would be some great revenge. So, this is Terry Strange. Shit, MRA say.
I remember her.
Yes.
She's a rad femme, isn't she?
Yeah, she's a rad femme.
Yeah, we have to specify that to keep Garrett happy. So.
Yeah. Like this is a genuine rad femme. This isn't
Yes.
Oh, they're those feminists who do bad things. They're not true Scotsmen. No, this is a genuine self-identified rad femme that hates most feminists.
Yes, and men.
and men. She's a fan of Andrea Dworkin.
People, I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think she's she's a TERF and a SWERF. She's everything. So yeah, let's.
So this is going to be good.
Yeah, this is going to be good.
I remember sending you the video, but I don't remember what's in it. So
you sent me the channel. You never actually sent me a.
Oh, did I? Okay.
Yeah.
I remember this video with the moustache. So I don't remember what's in it, but I do remember seeing it.
Oh my god, it's amazing. Okay. Brace yourself.
Actually, I just read the title of the video. I do remember this. So she goes on about all the right wing.
Yeah.
Doesn't she? Yes.
Yeah. So, should we get on with it?
Yeah, let's. Well, it's good so far.
Oh.
Yep.
Internet isn't working for some reason.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to provide me with some peer review.
Oh, what just happened? Bane?
I heard it.
Oh.
We got 3 seconds.
Okay, you can hear it. Okay, good.
Yeah.
And I can hear it, so yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to provide me with some peer-reviewed research before I'm gonna even listen to anything you have to say.
Have you ever heard an MRA say that?
Hey?
I mean, if they're making a claim that requires peer-reviewed research as a, for some reason I'm being sent messages.
Well, obviously she's exaggerating the claim a bit, saying that I won't listen to anything you say until you provide peer review research. But what's wrong with asking for some proper research, some proper statistics?
Yeah.
I hardly see that as a crime in itself.
Yeah, I don't understand why asking for evidence is bad. I mean,
I mean, look, you can make an argument without peer review evidence, obviously.
Yeah, but I've never seen MRAs. I've never seen an MRA complain about feminists asking for evidence, or anti-feminists. Yeah. And I although I have seen like cultists, like religious people and shit, they will mock atheists for asking for evidence. It always seems to be the people who are wrong who mock you for wanting to prove things. It gets worse from here.
If someone's making a claim that the world is a certain way or something is a certain way, I don't have a problem with asking for evidence. I think that would be a requirement, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You got the vote. What more do you want?
I have never heard that from anyone, really, ever.
Well, I guess this is a send-up of, some people who say, well, there was a need for feminism for women to get the vote, but now that things are equal, then, is it really still needed? That type of argument.
Yeah.
So I guess it's an exaggeration and a bit of a straw man satire of that type of argument.
Yeah, I mean, there were obviously problems that legal problems that women had, and most of pretty much all of them are gone, and so
I don't have a problem with a women's rights group. I don't have a problem with any particular group setting up like a rights group for their group, as long as they're not crazy. You know, that's where I draw the line. And unfortunately, feminism has descended, and some argue that's always been about man-hating.
I don't necessarily think it's always been about man-hating, but I think it has.
No, that's why I said some argue.
Yeah, I think you'll only find
maybe aspects of it have been, but I think it's got worse over the decades. I think the second wave was the generation that really turned into man hatred.
Yeah, I think the second wave was when it kind of became institutionalized, because there was a bigoted part of first wave feminism as well. Yeah. But it was in the second wave when it was the massive sort of political lesbian types who ended up taking control of the academic side of feminism.
Yep, you're spot on.
So that was really where you got the overt bigotry, I think.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that.
Okay.
That's not to say that all aspects of the second wave were bad, but that's definitely where the problem started, I think.
Optimal hip-to-waist ratios.
What?
Yeah, that's a very common MRA argument. Is that some pickup artist thing or something? I don't know.
I think it's something to do with. Actually, I did hear Tilda mention this in his in a comment he made to me a couple of days ago. I was talking. He was talking about because he uploaded this video. It was sort of an hour-long response, an hour-long set of videos that was from a MGTOW guy, and he was talking about how women see themselves as more attractive than men, and I was questioning, based on the evidence given, that was it really reasonable to suggest that it was all biologically ingrained, in the same way that if someone was making the claim that it was culturally ingrained, it was purely to do with culture, I would also question that too. And I was questioning that claim, and then Tilde did mention that it's like men prefer a certain hip to waist ratio on average, but that's the closest thing I've ever heard on that, really. And I've heard Armored Skeptic make a joke about it, but neither of those people are MRAs. So like, genuinely, I've never heard an MRA talk about it. Ever.
Well, it's hardly a men's rights issue, is it? So.
Well, yeah. I mean, it must have something to do with the family courts, that optimal hip to waist ratio.
Male circumcision.
Yeah.
It's a big problem. That's what causes it.
Yep.
Oh, crazy.
Feminists don't believe in equality. Like, if you're so for equality, why don't you sign up for the draft? Women do not have to sign up for the draft.
Yeah, well, that is actually an MRA argument.
Yeah,
I have to give a credit to that one.
But I don't see what's wrong with that.
I don't see what's wrong with it either. And we're constantly told that feminists are against the draft as well. Well, fair enough then. Why do you fight us on it?
Yeah.
Why do you criticise us for
it? But then again,
if you agree with us,
why Terry isn't for equality. She is self-admittedly against it. Yeah, she's self-admittedly against equality.
Yeah.
Which is quite funny.
Equal means equal. So, like, if you're gonna say you're as equal as a man, then I need to be able to punch you.
if you're coming at me with a knife, I think it's fair that I have the right to defend myself.
Yeah, this is actually a straw man I hear thrown at MRAs all the time. You know, oh, MRAs just want to hit women or some bullshit. You know, but what we're talking about is self-defense. Yeah. Ideally, no one should be hitting anyone, right? But if someone is hitting you for no reason, then you should be able to defend yourself. That's very different than going up to someone and just punching them, though.
Yeah, what we're saying is that's already happening, and we want the other person to be able to prevent it from happening.
I find it strange that they're criticising us for saying that men should be able to defend themselves from being hit, but they're not criticising the women in the scenario who are actually hitting them.
Yeah, it's.
I find that very strange. Maybe I shouldn't, because I've been in this fight long enough that I should know better, but I still find it very strange.
Yeah, this is like this is full like religious adherence to the Duluth model. It's whenever there's some kind of interaction, any kind of violence between men and women, it's always the man's fault, and and the woman is always the victim somehow.
Yeah, I've just gone through the whole Duluth bullshit, so yep.
You know, you're equal, right? This is just PC correctness gone mad.
Rad femmes should be fucking against political correctness by any reasonable standard. They like the shit you say about trans people gets you fucking that gets you no platforms. I don't even know. Do you, Bane? Do you understand?
No, I mean, this is just crazy, isn't it?
Men are more likely to commit suicide than women. How is that a privilege?
Yeah, how is it?
Yeah. Well, that is an MRA argument. We have to give a credit for that. But it is a fair point. I've made it numerous times. If men are so privileged, if we're like kings, as some feminists claim that we are, all men are fucking kings and have more privilege than all women, blah blah blah, then why are so many men committing suicide? There's obviously an issue there.
Because it's men's fault.
Of course.
It's men's fault that they're killing themselves.
It's patriarchy backfiring.
Oh, but more women attempt suicide.
Which has been debunked numerous times.
Yeah, it's not even...
The actual statistic is that more women self-harm, and the self-harm statistics aren't broken down, so there is suicide attempts in there, but not all of them are suicide attempts.
Yeah, we don't know how many of them are actually suicide attempts, because it's difficult to really measure that stuff. Yeah.
Well, they don't measure it at all.
So to be able to actually tell whether or not something is a suicide attempt, it's just you can't do that sometimes. So to say that
even if it was true, even if more women did attempt suicide, so what? They're not succeeding at the same rate as men.
Yeah, surely they're not succeeding for certain reasons. And the other thing is, one person can attempt a suicide as many times as they like if they don't succeed.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because there are more female suicide attempts does not mean that there are more women who are suicidal. But, yeah.
My ex stole my sperm.
I love the, was that a southern accent?
Yeah.
Is this an issue in the southern parts of America for some reason, or was that just...
I think it's something about, like, sperm jacking and the fact that...
Yeah, I know what it's about. I find it strange you use the southern accent for that one for some reason.
I don't know.
I know that's not the main thing I should be picking apart. I just found it a bit strange.
I think it says something about her view on MRAs. She thinks they're all
Southern Republicans.
Yeah. What? just what? A British guy and an Australian guy here. Yeah. Well,
I mean,
a British Spinosaurus and an Australian skull in a Kool-Aid jug, obviously.
Yeah. But let's look at her claim. If someone does steal your sperm, then yeah, surely it is an issue.
Yeah, especially if you're then financially responsible for that.
If someone pokes holes in a condom or says that she's on the pill when she's not, surely that is an issue.
Yeah, or fake pregnancy tests as well. There are some women who sell fake pregnancy tests online, so that they can give it to other women, so that they can say, "Oh, look, I'm pregnant, so it doesn't matter if you use protection now." And then, or what they'll do is they'll try and extort them out of money so that they can go and pretend to have an abortion.
Yep.
Or get them to marry them or something like that.
And for the record, we're not saying that every woman is doing this.
No, we're just saying that this happens, and therefore it needs to
happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
There needs to be something in place to prevent it, at least some kind of recourse.
Or we should at least be able to talk about it.
But Bane, women are evil. This is so true.
What about reproductive rights for men?
Yes. What about reproductive rights for men? That's a very good question.
Once again, this is actually something that we speak about, and what is actually wrong with it? What is wrong with saying men should have reproduction rights?
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, when you just say something, just in an attempt to mock it, it's not automatically stupid.
Well, the fact that she has a problem with men wanting to have reproduction rights, I think, speaks volumes about her views of men in general, doesn't it?
Yep.
What about that? Male genital mutilation, otherwise sanitized and known as circumcision.
There seems to be just a it seems to be one of two things. It seems to be something really weird and petty and obscure, or it seems to be an actual argument repeated like it's something stupid. Yeah.
It's funny that she said that, because I just got a message or a notification of a message before on one of my videos, Propaganda of Toxic Feminism, Part 44. And the message says, your whole thing about feminists not caring about male circumcision shows how warped you are. Now, to be fair, there are an ever-growing number of feminists who are against male circumcision. Yes, we have to acknowledge that. But
I think it's in the same vein. I think it's in the same vein as male victims of domestic violence. Yeah, there are feminists who care about both men and women in these cases, but the ones who do are A, in a minority, and B, the overall care, at least from what we can measure from things like where the money goes, seems to be overwhelmingly women. I don't see any feminist attempts to fucking get rid of male genital mutilation.
No, but the interesting thing is, thanks to feminism in England, they're trying to ban adult women from like getting genital piercings and labiaplasty, because it's considered genital mutilation, and it does fall into the category of genital mutilation. But adult women choosing to have those non-harmful procedures done apparently is bad, but performing male circumcision on newborn male babies against their will, and violating their human rights is apparently okay.
Yeah.
So that's why we bring it up.
Yeah, and I know you have done a really good job of debunking the medical benefits of circumcision and stuff. But let's just say for the sake of let's say for the sake of argument that there were medical benefits, that there were you're less likely to have a disease or something. Okay, eunuchs live longer on average. There is a medical benefit to castration. Okay, so any man who says like, oh, there are medical benefits to circumcision, they are by their own logic, I can just go up to them and just hack their genitals off because there's medical benefits.
There's a quote mine that someone's going to love.
Yeah, go on, quote mine me.
There's going to be 2 seconds appearing in a Kevin Logan video or something.
Kevin wouldn't quote mine me. He's too afraid of me.
With no link to the original. I like Kev. Don't get me wrong. I like Kev, but he is a massive hypocrite.
He is.
I saw him going on the other day about quote mining. I think it was with Sargon or something like that, which is really interesting because whenever he does a manosphere video, and I actually enjoy some of his manosphere videos, but whenever he does one, he always uses like 2-second clips, right, as opposed to something a bit longer, so you can get the full context. And he never has a link to the original source. So,
yeah, if
you're going to do that, mate, then you really should be careful about accusing others of quote mining.
Yeah, that's he's also a bit of a hypocrite because he talked about the what was it with the it was the whole Rini thing, and he was saying, why didn't Sargon do a video calling him out or whatever? But then he didn't really do a video calling out Man-Cheese for giving him dodgy clips of Paul Elam.
Yeah, and he's gone on and on about MRA's doxing and all this, or our side doxing, and how evil we all are, but he ignores it on his own side.
Yeah, he was.
Jenny put up a video the other day doxing Ahmed Skeptic.
Yeah,
and Kev had a positive comment in the comment section from memory.
Yes, he did.
Not criticising him for it. Yeah,
I've got an archive of those comments.
So yeah, I like Kev,
but yeah, he's
massive hypocrite.
Yeah, he is a hypocrite. Just blinded by hate.
I think he's the type of guy who thinks he's doing the right thing and has the best intentions.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But yeah, he doesn't play fair, and I don't know if he actually realises how hypocritical he is. I think he might be a bit blind to it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Women respect dominance and authority.
Most people do. Like humans in general, including women.
I don't recall any MRA making that point, though.
No, it sounds more like a PUA thing.
It does. Oh, look, I would say women respect confidence.
Yeah.
In a man, and they look for confidence. But I don't recall ever hearing an MRA make that particular argument. It does sound like a pickup artist thing.
Yeah, I agree. But they're clearly just MRAs. It's the same thing.
Oh yeah, all the same thing. Yeah.
Believe completely. I mean, we only have extremely minor differences because anti-feminism, like feminism, is just this massive, multifaceted view that's more important than anything else because feminism is clearly more important than anything else.
Well, it's just like Indians and Chinese are exactly the same because they're both from Asia, aren't they? So they must be exactly the same. No difference whatsoever. That's the same argument, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I guess communists and conservatives are exactly the same because they both don't hugely love liberals. I guess that they're exactly the same.
We could claim that all feminists are transphobes because red fems are transphobes.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like about that argument. The only thing I don't like about that argument, though, is that it's to an extent, what it does is it equates feminism and anti-feminism and puts them on kind of the same level, which Trump supporters and Trump's opposition, for example, they're not. You shouldn't be equating them. So, this person who hates Trump is part of anti-Trumpism, and therefore is you can put the same level of generalization as Trump's supporters. I think support of an affirmative position is leads more association than opposition to an affirmative position.
Look, I'll be straight here. Obviously, I don't believe mainstream feminists are transphobic.
Oh, of course.
But if they're going to lump MRAs in with trolls and random people on the internet and pickup artists and just anyone who's not a feminist, then surely we could do exactly the same thing to them if we had the same level of dishonesty. That is.
Well, I would start linking them with pickup artists and MGTOWs and just anyone who has some level of opposition to the men's rights movement.
Well, I did that last year at a propaganda of toxic feminism video where I showed comments from feminist James Fell and Rush V, both anti-MRA comments.
Oh yeah, I did one. There was one time that I saw a.
And how similar they were.
Yeah, I think Anna Kasparian said something about.
Group, right?
Yeah, I heard. I heard Anna Kasparian say some stuff about MRAs and how these MRAs that they just they're just whining about not getting laid or something, and I could see the same shit said by Rush V, the people who he was actually talking about.
Yep.
And there was a part of me that just wanted to just sort of read that out and just say, oh yeah, this is the guy you're talking about, saying the same stuff about MRAs as you, so you must be like him.
Yeah, but I mean, there's some things I agree with mainstream feminism on. I agree with mainstream feminism when it comes to trans rights, for example, and I disagree with the red femmes. That's something that
I think to an extent
mainstream and myself have in common.
I think to an extent, though, even mainstream feminists do fearmonger over the trans issue, though. I have heard some of them just the way they talk about things like just revealing the fact that you're trans to someone. They constantly talk about how this person might just might be a massive transphobe and they might like attack you or something. And I'm just thinking,
they might exaggerate things.
Yeah.
You're saying
they exaggerate
may exaggerate things.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I know. It's crazy, isn't it?
They do that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It must only be a few on the fringe.
Yes, just a couple on the fringe.
Oh, look, in principle, I agree with them on the trans issue.
Oh, I agree.
Did you know that Gloria Steinem was a CIA operative in the 60s?
I was with because I was watching this with Fiffin, and I think we actually ended up finding who the person who made that claim was, and he was just some like massive alt-right nut job. He didn't. I don't. He wasn't even an MRA. He and I checked his Twitter as well, and it was he wasn't following a single MRA. He was following MGTOWs and he was following people like Ramsey Paul and John Angelo Gage, but no MRAs.
Wasn't there some connection between the two though? I think there was. I can't remember what. I mean, obviously she wasn't an operative, but
there could have been, for all I know. It's just.
I seem to remember hearing something about it somewhere. I don't know how true the claim is.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. It is possible that it's true, but I mean, I'm not going to accept the claim until.
No, I agree. We shouldn't accept it until it's proven. But I do remember hearing something. I do remember hearing something about her passing on info to the CIA or something. I don't know. I don't know.
Most of the time, though, they don't. This is something I said to. I was talking with, because I do sometimes talk to a couple of feminists online, and there was one of them said something like, the way you talk about feminists is it's so alien to me. It's like you think we go to these secret meetings and discuss man-hating legislation, but the point is
some of them.
And obviously she was half joking, but I just responded. They don't need to. They can talk about man-hating legislation in the UN. Out in the open.
out in the open, yeah. But I mean, obviously, there are some groups who do that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it was like Radfem Hub, and there are some very there are some sort of like corners of the internet where you do get sort of cabals of these massive Radfem types. But
well, the ones who protested at the University of Toronto, I'm sure they had numerous meetings beforehand planning it. So, and I'm sure they meet on a regular basis. And to be honest, I got no problem with groups meeting. I mean, there's men's rights meetings, isn't there? But I mean, it doesn't mean we're planning to take over the government or anything.
Yes, we are. We are planning to take over everything.
We swap tips on how to pick up women and wear fedoras. That's.
Well, I mean, Paul Elam did do those videos on how to get laid, so clearly we're all PDAs.
I haven't watched them. What were they about?
They were basically just be confident and just be interesting. That was most of what he said.
It's pretty obvious, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Yeah. It wasn't anything particularly groundbreaking.
Hardly men's rights issue.
Yeah, but he only did it really to bash Roosh, I think.
Oh well, yeah, that's okay then.
Yeah.
I wish Roosh would just go away, you know.
Yeah, I know. I wish he would just disappear and just.
Because he's not helping men's rights activists in any way whatsoever. All he does is he gives a massive straw man for the opposition to use against us.
Yeah, he's. But then
like this whole pro-rape thing that blew up a couple of weeks ago. That's mud that's going to stick for a long time, unfortunately.
It is, but I think
it's the whole
I think
Elliot Rodgers thing over again.
That's the reason that I decided to do a bit of digging in his books and did my own sort of research into his more questionable quotes. And I think it's it's also good that that Dean also spoke out against him at the same time, and because if you've got that on record saying we don't like this guy, he's not an MRA, and we went and did more research and did more exposure of his bullshit than they did, I think at that point it's not gonna, to anyone who's reasonable, they're gonna see that and say, okay, this guy's we were lied to.
Did you see Kevin Logan's video about proof that Roosh is a rapist or some shit? I can't remember what it was called. He played the clip from the UK men's rights documentary. What was it, Reggie something? You did
Reggie Yates.
Yeah. And there was a couple of quotes in there that could have been interpreted as rapey, I guess. But he had a ding go off every time Roosh supposedly admitted to rape, and I think one of the things
I think there was too many dings. I think there was too many dings, but there was
exactly. He said, "I'd slept with her before." And ding. Well, it's just assuming.
I think that was rape apology. I think he was also dinging rape apology as well, or something like that.
Yeah, but I mean, look, there were some dings that were deserved in that clip, right? But there were some that weren't. And when like, I don't want to stick up for Roosh, but I'm just being fair here. When Roosh said I'd slept with her before, Kevin just assumed that it must have been rape. And
I mean, it's not exactly it's not exactly an assumption that's definitely false. But
no, that's not definitely true either.
Yeah.
And I wish Kevin would realise that when you you appear desperate to make an argument like that, you actually weaken your position.
Yeah, I agree.
It would have been a stronger argument if he had used fewer dings, as opposed to just going ding for any comment which even remotely resembled something to do with sex with a woman.
Yeah, but then I don't know. Roosh, I would say Roosh is extremely questionable around that area, and there are some better quotes as well.
Yeah, and look, I've got no problem with people pulling apart his books and finding those rapey quotes and criticising him over them.
The one thing is, though,
but that doesn't excuse making shit up either.
The one thing is, though, I'm not actually sure if like he's even had sex. Like, I don't know if there are any women who would...
Kevin or Roosh?
That's a good question. I'm sorry, Kev.
I'm not able to go at Kev. I wasn't clear who you were talking about.
Oh
there.
no, Roosh.
Roosh. Okay.
The from most people, the consensus is he talks about sex like he hasn't had it, and most of his stuff is just completely. It just sounds completely unrealistic.
I'm sure Roosh has had sex. Yeah, there are women out there who would sleep with people like Roosh.
Yeah, I'm sure there might be a couple, but I would not be surprised if it was an embellishment.
I don't doubt he exaggerates things somewhat.
Yeah, and I would also not be surprised if if he also exaggerates the level of attractiveness of the women he's sleeping with.
Yeah, I would agree with that too.
Let's move on.
Yep.
The CIA invented feminism so that they could further divide men from women and destabilize the American population, destroying the nuclear family, and thus bringing in the New World Order.
Yeah.
I just made that argument the other day.
Yeah. Although I have heard some people make an argument that does sound like that.
I've heard people on the internet make that argument before. I don't recall hearing it from any men's rights activists that I know of.
I've heard a more a less out there claim that it was the state that invented feminism or tried to use feminism so that they could get women into the workplace, so that they could increase taxes and or something like that. I think that was actually the whole Man Woman Myth series, his whole series. That was his conclusion.
Oh, was it? I missed that. I wish I knew what happened to him. I used to love his videos, but I don't remember him doing a video on that.
Oh no, that was some of his series, and I've heard a couple of I've seen a couple of commenters as well. I know where some mirrors are, so I could give you those.
Oh, good. I wish I knew what happened to that guy.
the rumor is that he's he got married or something, and just disappeared.
Yeah, but he took down all his videos too, so.
Yeah. Oh well.
Because I came across his channel fairly early on, I think.
Yeah, me too.
Mm.
And he did have some good points. Especially around the stuff like sexual abuse and things. That was really good stuff.
Yeah, I find it funny that the Red Femme here is making claims about the Illuminati sarcastically when she obviously believes in the patriarchy.
Yeah, but that's different because reasons.
Yeah.
My conspiracy theory is not a conspiracy theory because I don't know. Because patriarchy. Patriarchy is not a conspiracy theory because patriarchy. There we go.
Yep, that's the citation that she asked for earlier. So
I need hard evidence before I believe in anything, which is
yeah, that might be that's a nice thing. Hard evidence.
why I'm such a proponent of free market capitalism.
Okay, not every MRA is a proponent of free market capitalism.
No.
Second, there is some evidence, and it's a very long debate on economics. So just saying that the people you disagree with have no evidence for their position, it's kind of intellectually lazy. Especially on something as complicated as economics. There are some like really far out anarcho-capitalist types, like Stefan Molyneux. But last I checked, he's not exactly popular in the MRM.
Oh, he has a lot of subs on YouTube. I assume that most of them are the for his libertarian. He classes himself as a libertarian, doesn't he?
Yeah, but anarcho-capitalist is his subset.
Yeah.
It's just libertarian.
I don't know if he's even a typical libertarian, though, is he? So.
Well, no, he's not. Most libertarians would fall under the minarchist level, so they're like, we want a small state. But Stefan is anti-state completely.
Yeah, I'm subscribed to Stefan, and I have a lot of his videos in my watch later list, because I'll often see it's an hour-long video on, I know something, I think, oh, that might be interesting, I'll add it to the watch later list, but never get around to actually watching them. I've watched some of his
Bane
videos.
expects people to watch his hour-long videos.
Well, no, I'm not saying that.
I'm messing with you.
I'm not criticising everyone who makes hour-long videos. Or I do watch hour-long videos, or 2 hour-long videos, or 3 hour-long videos. I watch the Honey Badgers just about every week. And they go, what, for 3 hours or something?
Yeah, pretty good.
But I never get around to watching most Stefan videos for some reason. I've watched a couple. Some I find interesting. Some I find a bit out there.
Yeah,
so I have very mixed feelings about the man.
I think that's everyone in the MRM. Really.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a single person who's like Stefan is completely awesome.
Yeah, look, I've seen some of his stuff which is actually good, and some of his stuff just it really makes me scratch my head. What's the whole defooing or something?
That's fuck everyone in your family who doesn't completely subscribe to Stefan's brand of anarcho-capitalism.
Yeah,
cut them out of your life. Yeah, it's literally cult. It's completely cult-like.
Yeah.
And actually, speaking of Kevin Logan, actually, I did like how he described Stefan as the leader of the world's shittest cult.
I like that. I don't think it's accurate, but I like it. Trust me, there's worse cults out there.
Oh yeah, there's worse cults, but it's quite funny.
It is a funny line.
and a believer in the Illuminati.
Patriarchy.
Yeah. What MRAs believe in the Illuminati?
Oh, come on. We all know it's not the Illuminati that controls the world's media. It's the patriarchy that does it. Which is why we have so many. Which is why we have so many feminist journalists.
Yeah, it's the gynarchy. It's the gynarchy, as the skeptic feminists called it. They kept saying that we were using the term gynarchy, and I don't think a single one of us ever used it in that whole hangout.
No.
And they were trying to say that we were using it. Like, what the fuck? Who knows?
I mean, I use the term gynocentric occasionally.
Yeah. I shy away from the term because it's a bit all-encompassing, but...
it just simply means putting women's needs above male needs. And I guess you could argue that history has been made up of gynocracy and... what's the opposite? Sorry, it's quite late here, and my brain just.
Who knows? It's mostly just been rich people controlled everything, and poor people had shit lives.
Yeah, but look,
men and women had specific. Men and women have specific.
Been made up of advantages for both men and women in different ways.
Yeah,
is what
I think to an extent they're subjective as well. Fart. Yeah, they're both so subjective that saying one was better than the other, it's not exactly.
Well, feminism only tends to look at one.
Yeah.
Androcentric is the term I was looking for.
Androcentric. There we go.
Yeah, which is so history's been made up of gynocentric and androcentric aspects, and feminism tends to only look at the androcentric aspects and calls it patriarchy, and ignores the gynocentric ones.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it does. Just they focus on any problems that that women have and none that men do.
Yeah.
In the divorce, my ex took our house. She took my car. She took my children. She took my dog. She took my goldfish. She took my record collection. She took my manhood. She took my self-respect. She took my sense of shame that would prevent me from sharing the most intimate details of my life on the internet with complete strangers.
And
is she saying that's a? Is she? So the fact that she's making fun of this, does that mean that she thinks it's a good thing that a woman would take all those things from a man?
Yeah, I'm not.
Is that what we should conclude from this? That she thinks it's a good thing that in a divorce a woman gets everything and destroys a man? Because why else would you be making fun of it?
I guess so.
Makes you a pretty shitty person, doesn't it, Terry?
Yeah. The patriarchy is the reason that men can't show their emotions.
Yeah, yeah.
And
that southern accent again.
Yeah. What is it with the southern accents? I mean, I think divorce rates are higher in southern states and more red states as well.
It's something I haven't looked at.
I think most of it is to do with religion, because what happens is that you get there's sort of religious fundamentalists who are like, okay, no sex before marriage. So what do these two teenagers, they're 18 and 19, and they want to have sex, so they go and they get married, but then they realise that they're not actually completely compatible and get divorced.
That they hate each other.
Yeah, they hate
each other when they're not fucking.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, a marriage built on teenage sex is not a good marriage, I would suggest.
Yeah, which is why the idea of like, it's just And yeah, so
yeah, that makes sense. So,
but let's blame this on I don't know. Let's blame this on women. It's all women's fault, like the MGTOWs do. No, this is one thing that really does annoy me sometimes, is that they say, oh, it's there was talk in this there's talk around MGTOWs. They talk about like hypergamy and stuff, and the reason that women divorce men is because they just want to take men's resources or something like that. I don't really.
Yeah, I think that's bullshit.
Yeah, I think it's a lot more complicated than that.
Look, I think it's human nature for someone to take advantage of a system which gives them an advantage, and I'm sure if the tables were turned and that men were, getting the kids and the house and everything in a divorce, then men would be doing that too.
But there's a reason that a lot of men don't divorce. Is the saying cheaper?
Mind you, that would be proof of patriarchy, no doubt.
Oh yeah, that would be proof of patriarchy. But a lot of men don't initiate the divorce because it's cheaper to keep her. Some men realise that they cannot financially handle a divorce.
And unfortunately, a lot of men stay in shitty situations which they should get out of.
Yeah, but let's just. There's a lot of gender ideology around this, and it's just. Can we just look at it rationally and just pisses
cut
me
the
off.
bullshit?
Yeah, cut out the bullshit. Stop looking at men and women as these collectives, and just realise a lot of this is, especially things like interpersonal relationships, they're just too complicated to talk about in these massive generalised senses.
I got no problem with admitting that there are shitty men out there who do shitty things. I mean, I've spent enough time criticising Roosh V, for example.
Yeah.
Not that I think he's in any way typical, but that doesn't mean that all men are shitty. And it also, you also have to take into account that women can be just as shitty. So that's my position.
It's cheaper to hire a hitman.
My position is people are cunts. So
banter.
That's simple. Let's continue.
Yeah. Why are people saying shoe in the fucking in the chat? What?
I don't know. I can't see the chat. Do I need to go to the chat?
Yeah. Spino is a hypocrite. What the hell? Why am I a hypocrite? What did I do? Children equal STD. What the hell?
Have we got many people watching? Many people in the chat?
There's quite a few people in the chat actually. I might pop that out.
Are they saying nice things?
They're saying mean things to me apparently. Spino is a hippopotamus. Oh fuck. Technical difficulties. Okay, let's go back to the video.
Oh, hold on. Okay.
See my comment on Tilde's video. Oh, yeah. I am going to do a long. Someone's talking about me. My comment on on the whole stuff on Tilde's video. I am going to explain. I am going to make a sort of long form response to this. Some of the stuff I had disagreement in that. So maybe
you've called this. You've called this video "Getting Revenge on Bane." What's going on there?
Because I was getting revenge on you for sending me this.
Positive improvement just said Bane is absolutely awful. That's true.
It is.
It's 100% true. But not as awful as you, Pos.
Ooh.
No, I'm friends with Pos.
Yeah.
We joke about that all the time.
We are always awesome. You're worse than McDermott. Oh god. Oh dear god.
Oh, that guy T's in there too. You're worse than McDermott. Who's he referring to? You, of course.
Probably me. Let's face it. You're awful, but I'm on like some other level of evil. Cross the line there. Okay, I think we're looking at the chat too much now. Let's get back to the video.
It's time men go their own way.
That's MGTOW. It's not men's rights.
It's all the same in the red fem mind, though, isn't it? So
of course it is.
By not leaving women alone but still focusing on them, and still complaining about them, and still trying to purchase them like whores.
Okay, the bit, everything before that...
Didn't the political lesbians of the 70s, the red femme political lesbians of the 70s, turn their back on men but still continuously talk about how awful men are?
They did. Now, I understand to an extent where she's coming from right before that last little thing, because there are... it seems a large amount of MGTOW content online is talking about women. Lots and lots of talking about women. So
yeah, but feminists do exactly the same thing when they talk about.
Of course they do.
So it's a little bit hypocritical. I mean, it's a fair point, but it is hypocritical.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, there are a lot of...
Especially the video where she's talking about men's rights activists, supposedly.
Yeah, I mean, MRAs are not saying we're going to be completely like dropping out of society and hiding from and just everything is ended. No, we want to like fix a legal system here.
Well, yeah, one of the criticisms of MRAs is all we do is talk about feminism. But what about channels like Kevin Logan? All he does is talk about the manosphere. And it's the same with
We Hunted the Mammoth.
Dave Futrell.
Yeah. He still hasn't done an article about me. Like, fuck you, Dave Futrell.
I've had three.
Oh.
Oh, one of them was he uses a skull in his videos, so he must be evil. and Mundane Matt was thrown in there as well.
Yeah.
So that was the extent of it. Another one was some guy liked one of my videos. He wasn't even subscribed to my channel, but he liked one of my videos, and apparently he was some pickup artist in Canada who allegedly threatened a woman with a knife or something. So the big connection he made to the men's rights movement was he once liked one of my videos.
Wow.
Big connection there. So, you know.
Wow. What the hell is this going? What the hell is going on? Sargon censors his comments. What? All of this. This chat is cancerous. This chat is cancerous. Okay. Let's move on.
Feminism has caused the complete destabilization of Western democracy.
What? Bane? You got anything?
I don't really know what to say about that. Are we really destabilized? I don't think so.
No, I think the politically correct side of feminism that is trying to censor any talk on things like immigration and things like the migrant crisis, that has the potential to, in the future, destabilize Western democracies. But this is... Who's saying we're destabilized right now? Who the fuck is saying this?
Is this tied into the collapse of the nuclear family type argument?
Oh, it might be. Yeah, it probably is.
Feminism.
Should we go on?
Yeah.
It's not fair that men are incarcerated at much higher rates than women.
Yeah. Bane?
Let her finish.
Oh yeah, let's let her finish.
Even though men are more likely to commit violent crime than women.
Yeah, sentencing gap.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's not necessarily purely that there are more men who are put into prison than women. That's not the problem. The problem is that there is discrimination within the system, so that disproportionate rate is higher than it should be.
Yeah, Karen posted a link to an article the other day on one of my videos about a woman who was convicted of statutory rape, and she got a 35-year sentence, which the judge then suspended.
Yeah.
Now, I find it amazing that she was guilty enough to get a 35-year sentence, and then that sentence is suspended.
Yeah, I just... And there was another, wasn't there a woman who had, like, sex with a 1-year-old or something, and she didn't get any prison time at all.
Really? I haven't heard that one, but
I'd have to go and look it up. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that goes on. Things like battered women syndrome as well. It's literally a way for women to get out of murder, to get away with.
Do you think
murder.
we might need to send female teachers to consent classes?
Oh, I don't know.
There's a hell of a lot of them sleeping with their male students, underage male students.
Yeah, I know. I think what we should do is we should send women and Muslims to consent classes, because it seems they need to see it.
There's another quote for Kevin.
Yeah,
2 seconds, Kev.
Yeah, go on.
Don't link to the original source.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess double standards.
Yep.
But then even there was an article on permutation of ninjas, wasn't there? I think you brought it up. Once,
I
and
went right through it.
It's questioning whether the disparity between men and women in the criminal justice system is because men commit more crime than women, and they do get it quite close when they add in a couple of estimates.
Yeah, if you take out the bias against men getting longer sentences and more likely to be convicted and more likely to stand trial and the rest of it, then the numbers even out a lot.
Yeah.
Men are probably still ahead for a number of reasons, but it's nowhere near as bad as you might think.
The sort of the margin of error does it does lean over the disparity, effectively. So,
but it amazes me that social justice warriors can acknowledge that there is a problem in this area with black males. You know, the fact that so many are in prison, it's because of discrimination, blah, 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 right? But when you present them with evidence of males in general, most of them just, they can't accept it.
Yeah.
And many argue the opposite ways. No, it's women who get a harder deal in courts.
Well, yeah, I've heard some people say that women get a harder deal in general, so we should be more lenient on them in courts. It's saying, okay, so we should treat men and women less equally here because they are treated less equally there. Why is someone in my chat just saying Sargon is evil and Sargon is a hack and Sargon has lost it and everything like that? In full caps.
Oh, I've got no idea. I mean, it is true. Only joking. We love you, Sargon.
Yeah, he's all right. Sargon's all right. He was. To be honest, though, Sargon was actually my gateway drug to all of this stuff. So.
I see M is in there. I've known M for years now.
Yeah, I've seen M in comment sections a couple of times. He's quite cool.
Yeah.
Sargon of a fraud.
Oh, Angry Bastards.
Angry Bastards?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hello, Angry Bastards.
I wonder what he thinks about Terry Strange.
Yeah, well, yeah, Terry Strange is a, she's a, I think most feminists would laugh at Terry Strange.
John saying, "Hey Bane, notice me, notice me." I'm not going to notice you, John. I'm just going to ignore you and not mention you at all.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just not fair. That's not equal. That's not equality. Mangina.
Mangina. Should we explain what a mangina is?
Yeah, you could explain it because I like your explanation.
Well, feminists. Whenever a woman disagrees with feminism, they're accused of having internal misogyny, which is often a false claim. So basically, what a mangina is the opposite. It's someone with internalized misandry. Now, I do think that both internalized misogyny and mangina are overused to refer to people who don't fall into those categories, if that makes sense.
Yeah, just I mean it's nothing more than like an insult. It's just I mean they talk about it like, oh, it's a gendered insult and therefore it's proof that you hate women because you're using vagina as an insult. Well then,
or proof that we were actually not fighting for men's rights because we're criticizing some men.
Yeah,
but it's okay when they criticize non-feminist.
Well, mansplaining or man spreading and things like that, or I have seen too many feminists say that anti-feminist women are just doing it for male attention, or some of them they advocate some questionable solutions to anti-feminist women. I think they're the only people who who currently even will no platform women.
Yeah, look, you can't criticise the use of the word mangina unless you criticise internalised misogyny as well. And for the record, I think both are overused and misused. But anyway.
Yeah.
The feminazis have taken over Sweden, Norway, and Iceland.
I hear Norway and Iceland, but I do hear Sweden.
Yeah, definitely Sweden.
Yeah. Sweden is very feminist, let's face it.
Ding! We have to give her a point for that one.
Yeah. but they're MRAs though, because they're not feminist enough for her.
Yeah.
Or well, she actually does say liberal feminist. So there's a couple of other videos she's got on there. Shit male feminists say and shit liberal feminists say. They're both equally. They're both just as gold as it.
Look at this too?
Oh yeah, if you want to. Male feminist one, it's brilliant.
All the white nations.
All the white nations.
That's a very good look right there. You should
amazing.
use that as a thumbnail.
Yes, you should, Terry. Please, that's fucking amazing.
Yeah, that's a great
Just
look.
having a micro penis moment right now.
Body shaming. I thought body shaming was
A
bad.
micro penis moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to provide.
Yeah.
What exactly is a micro penis moment? I'm happy to say I've never had one of them. So.
No, that's you don't know what it is because it's been your whole life.
Oh!
I'm sorry, I had to. I'm sorry.
Have you been looking in my bedroom window again?
No, Fiffin was.
Oh, well, yeah.
Sorry,
That wouldn't surprise me.
Sorry, Fiffin. Or it was Dave Luttrell. Dave Futrell, We Hunted the Mammoth. Bane has micropenis. Micropenis moment when you suddenly feel you're like Bane.
Hey, what?
A micropenis moment when you suddenly feel you're like Bane.
Oh, it's Poz again. Thanks, Poz.
Full of micro Josh. I'm loving these. This chat has gotten better.
We should be recording the chat. That could be a video in itself.
Yeah, let's go on to shit male feminists say, because this is also just absolutely perfect.
Bane is Asian? I don't get that.
I don't know either. Oh, because Asians have small dicks, I think.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yep, sorry. Oh, another moustache. What's going on?
Well, it's male feminists.
Oh, this is male feminist. Oh, this will be good.
Yeah,
I think I've seen this.
This is gonna be brilliant. Like, you thought shit MRA say was bad.
Okay, let's get stuck into it.
Well, speaking as a feminist myself, well, my mother was a feminist, and she raised me right.
I actually have heard those say, male feminists actually say that stuff.
Yeah, let's go on.
Have you ever had any Reiki healing? I'm actually a Reiki master. I get the sense that you have a lot of undealt with trauma in your root chakra.
What?
I don't know. I mean, it's wanky, right? I've no doubt that is a wanky kind of thing.
I think it's something to do with like a lot of male feminists tend to be the sort of
new agey
types. Yeah, so it might be something to do with that. It might be just some woo.
Yeah. Is she suggesting they're using it as a pickup thing? Like,
I wouldn't be surprised.
Because I'm not sure how it's bad apart from it being woo.
Yeah, or just slightly cheesy.
Yeah, but surely there's females who believe in the same thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
And please don't argue with women who don't want me in this space, okay? Like, it's totally fine. It's just it's not productive to have women arguing over a man.
I wouldn't be. I think I've actually heard of male feminists say stuff like this. But in one of our other videos.
So get to the back of the bus, in other words.
Yeah, but it's like a guy saying, yeah, it's bad for. It's a good thing if I go to the back of the bus. Don't argue against it.
Yeah.
Hashtag cuck.
Of course, I'm not going to actually leave the space and, like, leave it to women. This is really just an attempt for me to look reasonable and like a better person than I am.
So they're only saying it because they're really evil and they're just pretending not to be evil. Sneaky.
Very, very sneaky. I wonder what they think the male feminists think they're going to get out of it. I just don't know. Is it manginas or manginae? That's a genuinely good question. That's a genuinely good question.
I think it depends on what economic class you come from, doesn't it? How posh you are.
How posh? Well, I'm not posh, but I seem to be quite well read, so I'm going to use manginae instead.
I really love queer women.
Okay, and is it wrong for a male feminist to love queer women? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I just. this is like, I have to admit, this is like another level of the normal feminist that we tend to deal with, and you can probably understand why we don't, why I tend to avoid people like this, because there's just no real point.
Yeah, I understand that the previous video was shit MRAs saying she had a mustache, and this is shit male feminists saying she's got a mustache. But so I'm guessing that's why she's got a mustache in both videos. But I'm kind of hoping she has drawn a mustache in all the videos. I know she's not going to, but I just kind of wish she did. I think it would add a level of insanity to her that she really doesn't need. But you know, I still think it would be funny.
Yeah.
I'm a lesbian trans woman, actually. Yeah.
Vomit coyote. That is, those exist. What do you have to say to it, Bane?
Yeah. I was surprised when I found out that Varmint was a trans woman, because he's got a goatee.
She! Preferred pronouns, Bane!
Sorry, she.
I'm gonna have to ban you! I'm calling the fucking UN! This is cyber violence! Bane, you monster! I am going onto Twitter right now! I'm going onto Twitter right now! Hello!
Tumblr!
At UN! Bane
that's the point.
AU refuse to respect.
When you see a goatee, you automatically think male, though, don't you? I mean, I think that's perfectly natural.
I've actually, I just tweeted
I mean,
that.
I'm happy for her to be a trans woman, but I just find it strange that she has a goatee.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah, it's genuinely, it was surprising as well, when I heard about it, and I'm still not 100% sure.
I mean, yeah, look, realistically she can do what she wants, but I imagine that a lot of people would make the mistake that I just made and refer to her as a he. It must be a constant thing.
Yeah, it must be.
Butch lesbian trans woman. I like to use terms like partner and gender-neutral terms like they to obscure the fact that I'm actually a heterosexual man.
That she might actually be right. I think a lot of these male feminist types who are like, oh, I'm non-binary or I'm trans, I think to an extent they are just trying to obscure the fact that they are men.
Yeah, because they're being taught that masculinity is somehow inherently evil.
I guess that's a little transphobic to suggest that there might be people out there who don't know. I just, fucking hell.
What's transphobic?
Transphobic is when you're just anything that they think is transgressive to trans people.
No, I know what the word means. I'm saying what
suggesting that there might be men, like people who consider themselves non-binary, are just bullshitting to an extent.
Well, I think I think there are always people who will say certain things to fit into a group, not just male feminist or female feminist, but any social group. Do you think there are people who will, go along with that group to fit in?
Yeah, I think it makes sense, but I'm
not suggesting that the majority are like that. I have no idea.
No, you don't need to suggest, but the problem is a lot of people, a lot of ideologues will say if you say something happens, that you're automatically assuming the majority is doing it, or all of them are doing it, or something like that. They want to think he was a bigot.
Well, I wasn't hiding the fact that I was male, so like anyone who assumed that I was female just because I was participating in an online radical feminist community, well, that's on them.
Well, it is. I think. I think this straw male feminist has a point.
I'm an anarcha-feminist. Yeah.
There are female feminists who are also anarcho-feminists. The creator of the feminist who devised fart rape, Ashley Ingle, she's an anarcho-feminist. And oh shit! What's Angry Bastard's gonna say if he's still here? Because he's an anarcho-feminist.
Does he believe in fart rape?
I don't think he believes in fart rape. But yeah, Angry Bastards, come on, talk about. Come here. Please tell me you're still here, because it's. I want you to weigh in on this. Is he here?
No, I think he's gone. I think he thumbed down and then left.
I don't know if he thumbed down. He might have just left.
Well, there is one thumb down. So.
Oh, he's here! Yay!
Oh, he's here.
What do you think about this this radfem complaining about anarcho-feminist men? I hear is almost a sentence. Oh god! Such radfems are the reason to destroy sperm banks. Got a point. Do we really want these people having any children?
Just get me on Skype.
Oh, I can't do that.
So people who are watching this video in future are probably going to be a bit bored with us waiting for comments to come through the comment section. So should we go on with the video, maybe?
Yeah, let's go with the video.
I don't really have any sympathy for women who eat meat. I mean, they're hypocrites. Like, feminism is about the liberation of all females. Humans, chickens, pigs, ducks. It's all the same thing.
I've actually heard this argument.
Yeah, I made a video about 2 years ago about I think an Aussie feminist who was being published in like major Aussie newspapers, who was going on about the fourth wave of feminism will be about chickens and cows, because taking eggs from chickens and milking cows and using them that way is clearly patriarchy. Yeah, I can't remember if she used a form of rape, but I think she might have hinted that it was a bit rapey. But we were taking advantage of female animals, and therefore it is patriarchy.
Well, I mean, there are quite a few vegan feminists. So, I'm not just. I guess Onision is a vegan and he's a feminist. Or actually no, I think he's a vegetarian. Oh fuck. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it is quite a stupid thing to say.
Yeah,
I'm in agreement.
I try to stay away from Onion.
Onion.
Yeah, I can't stand that guy.
Yeah.
I think he's just an attention whore, that's it.
I wouldn't be surprised either.
And he has nothing of substance, so...
Yeah.
If this organization becomes critical of intercourse, then I'm leaving!
What?
Critical of intercourse. So is this referring to the
all PIV sexes? Yeah,
is right.
I think it is.
I go side with the male feminist on that one. So let's be clear here. They are a minority of feminists, but there are some out there, some rad femmes, who believe that putting a man putting his penis in a woman's vagina is unnatural. and that the natural way to have sex is to ejaculate on the outside, and that any form of penetration is in fact rape.
Yeah, women don't have they don't have enough institutional power yet to reasonably consent.
Yeah, and it's not even that. It's in their opinion, it's just unnatural. And any woman who enjoys penis in vagina sex is obviously brainwashed by the patriarchy.
Yep, basically. But
they are a minority, thankfully.
Well, yeah, but
very,
Terry is
a very
part of that
fucking
minority.
crazy, a very fucking crazy minority. But the thing is, if we had a group like that in the men's rights movement, the feminist media would be going crazy, painting them as the normal, average MRA.
Yeah, well,
I mean, they do that with people who aren't MRAs.
Yeah, we do. There are people like that. There is the male equivalent to that. I mean, people like Sandman do say things that are similar, like the vagina control, the mind controlling vagina stuff. That's.
Oh yeah, but I've heard the opposite too, where sperm affects a woman in some way.
Yeah.
So, I agree. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Was he actually promoting that though, or was he reading it out from someone?
No, he was taking that. He took that position. He was saying like.
Okay. Yeah.
Because he was also talking about how he himself was taking precautions for it and stuff.
Yeah, well, that's crazy.
Yeah. Sandman's a nut job.
I'm surprised it hasn't appeared on We Hunted the Mammoth, and and that's now our official talking point.
Yeah, that is actually surprising.
Yeah, needless to say that Sandman isn't an MRA.
Oh no, he's anti-MRA. So I guess he must be a feminist.
He never used to be. I mean, he went to the first International Men's Conference, didn't he?
Wasn't that in 2013?
2014.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, that was quite a while ago.
Somewhere in that time, he's yeah. I don't know how anti-MRA he is, though. I mean, I think he's still subscribed to me.
He might be. He's a really elusive type, though. It's hard to get a sort of read on some of these on some people who just don't know what they're doing. They like to keep their cards close to their chests. And that's a shame, really.
Oh, you're a political lesbian? You'll be back.
She's actually a political lesbian.
I just find the whole political lesbian thing strange. I mean, if you're naturally a lesbian, I've got no problem with you being, a lesbian. But if you're naturally straight, to become a lesbian for political reasons because you're that anti-male, to me is pretty twisted.
I think.
Like if you take
I would be okay with more feminists doing it.
If you take the most extreme MGTOW, right, who the most extreme anti-female MGTOW that you could find, right? If they're not naturally gay, they're not going out sleeping with guys because they hate women, are they?
No, they're not. They're not politically gay. They're
and they're not promoting, the whole political gay thing. Is there even a political gay thing on?
There isn't. I don't think. Should we look it up? Should we look it up right now?
I don't know. I mean, the world's a pretty strange place. There may actually be a handful of them out there somewhere, but I've never heard of them.
Because to
be clear, we're not talking about people who were gay to begin with, but
let's political homosexuality or something, because I don't know.
Is that used in the same way as political lesbian, though? That's the question.
Political homosexuality. That's no. It just comes up political lesbians.
Yeah.
No, I don't think there is a political homosexuality. Oh, that's a shame, really. So that would be quite funny.
I'm sure there'd be some interesting stories from women who were convinced that they were political lesbians and later, maybe regretted it.
Yeah.
Because they weren't actually lesbian. They kind of were forced into it to fit in or whatever.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
That probably will come out within the next 2 or 3 years.
Oh, I'm sure it's already come out somewhere. I'm sure we just haven't seen it.
I might even do a little bit of research on it or something. See if we can pick anything up.
The whole political lesbian thing started in the 70s.
Yeah, but there is stuff that might even be going on now. We don't know.
Oh, I'm sure it is, but I think it probably reached its height in the 70s.
Yeah, probably late 70s. But I've never heard. I don't think a male feminist would have the balls to say you'll be back. Let's face it, right? That sounds more like a troll on the internet than a male feminist.
Yeah, I was thinking Roosh, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just wow.
You'll miss the dick too much.
I don't think a male feminist is capable of talking like that.
No. No.
What the hell? I don't think. I'm not sure if she knows what she's missing, either. I'm just saying.
Let's go on. See what other gems she's got to tell us.
Well, speaking on behalf of my dead wife.
What?
I don't know what to say to a lot of this stuff. It's just. What does that even mean? Is that a common thing? That do a lot of male feminists have wives? Is this something we should investigate?
I think we should.
Because she might have heard it once from one individual. It's not a common thing, then, is it? And if it is a common thing, then that's rather disturbing.
Yeah. I think
so a higher rate of
dead wives within male feminism. Oh, well,
yeah.
It might not necessarily be to do with the men actually killing them. It might be due to health issues from overeating.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a low blow. But still, had to say it.
The difference between sadomasochism and PIV is that PIV is natural, alright? It's normal.
It's,
well, it is natural. So, hold on. Now, once again, let's stress, because I don't want to be straw manned by someone. We're not talking about all feminists. We're talking about
this person.
We're talking about a handful of crazy feminists who think that penis in vagina is unnatural.
I don't think anyone would take this. Would take the idea that we're generalising to all feminists with this one.
Oh well, no.
This is a level of crazy that everyone is aware is not representative.
So, are they suggesting that penis in vagina is unnatural just in humans, which would be illogical because the rest of all the mammals, right, in the animal kingdom, or are they suggesting that all penis in vagina, even in other species, is unnatural? In which case, the patriarchy has spread throughout the animal kingdom?
I don't know.
It's because it's a strange argument either way.
It's just
How anyone can think that a penis in vagina sex is somehow unnatural is just strange. Go live on a farm for a week and tell me that it's not natural.
Then again, I mean, it might. I mean, there's in the animal kingdom, it's still evil and immoral because I think it's cats. They have cats have barbed penises, and it's actually the
patriarchy.
Yeah, no, but it's the pain. It's actually the pain of the intercourse that causes the female cats to release eggs.
Well, obviously that's the fault of male humans.
Yes. This is the fault of just the fault of the Y chromosome.
Masculinity. Yeah, masculinity is clearly at fault for that.
Yeah. Well, aliens created the Y chromosome, and they implanted it in humans. And we used to have just all women, and we used to all animals used to be female. And they used to reproduce. They used to reproduce on their own. And
well, I have heard that. I think it was on Red Fem Hub. They were referring to the X chromosome as a mutation.
The Y chromosome as a mutation. I have heard that one.
Oh, sorry, Y chromosome. Yeah.
But I did hear some feminists on Tumblr say that the Y chromosome was created by aliens once. It's quite funny.
I think one of the craziest arguments I've ever heard on YouTube. I was going to make a video out of it, but the video quality was so bad. It was just someone recording it with a handheld camera. I think it was the what's that pro-black group in America? Is it the Nation of Islam?
I don't know actually.
It's like almost 2 o'clock in the morning here, and I'm half asleep. So
God.
I can't remember. I think it's the Nation of Islam.
This is my real revenge on you, Bane. It's making you stay up late.
No, that's all right. That's all right. But yeah, like I said, it was just a handheld camera, and the sound quality was really bad. But the guy giving the lecture was saying that he had proof that whites were from outer space, and the proof was that white people get sunburnt, and if white people naturally occurred on Earth, they wouldn't get sunburnt.
What?
Yeah, I know. It's a whole new level of crazy, isn't it?
Oh shit! I've got the tests.
You got what? The police coming to get you?
No, it's oh no, smoke alarm test. They do it every week here.
Oh, okay. Thought someone had reported you for making fun of feminists.
Would be the first time.
I know that's what makes it so funny. Yeah, so if you get sunburnt, that's because you're an alien. So there you go.
Men don't live as long on Earth because they're aliens.
Yeah, and other crazy shit on the internet.
It's not fair that I can't join this organization just because I'm a man. I mean, some of the most radical feminists out there are men.
No. I really don't think so. I don't think you can get any more radical than Dworkin Solanus or fucking...
Yeah, there are probably a handful of males who come close to it.
No, I think, and I think...
What's that guy's name? Michael. Oh God, I can't think of his name.
Kimmel?
Yeah, that's him, Michael Kimmel. He might do a good job.
Oh yeah, he does. He's close.
Yeah.
But not that. He's not got the same level of violent craziness that say Solanus has.
No.
And the open hostility that Dworkin does.
Mm.
No, this is my crystal wand that I'm gonna use to heal you today.
Is this more New Age stuff, or is this
Yeah, is this things New Age male feminists say, or
is this a way male feminists trying to
Now, once again, this is woo, which I think is bullshit. But apart from it being woo, which both males and females believe in this type of woo. Apart from that, what is wrong with it?
I think
is she saying it's used as a pickup line or something?
No, I think the connotation is wand
or something.
I think the way he heals her with the wand, I think is the concept might be what she's not liking.
Is it a way to get into a feminist pants to pull out your crystal wand or something? Is that?
No, I think the actual the wand is used when the pants are off.
Ah, it's a vibrating crystal wand. Is that what you're saying?
Possibly, I don't know.
Well, as long as it's not a vagina, a penis in that vagina, that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure if it's a penis-shaped object, it's perfectly fine. But
well, if a man's putting it in there, though, it's still.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true.
If you play your cards right, I'll use my other wand on you.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
It was a pickup line. You were right.
Does that make male feminist pickup artists? Can we make that connection now? Can we say Roosh is a male feminist?
Yes.
Hey, same argument, same group. Isn't that what we're constantly told?
Yeah. I think that's a good idea. We should say that Roosh is a pickup. Roosh is a male feminist. All PUAs are male feminists. There are actually feminist PUAs.
Are there?
Yeah, they do exist. They can be questionable. But especially the female ones. Some of the stuff the tactics they talk about and stuff. A lot of the feminist PUAs basically just manufacture nice guy syndrome.
Oh, okay.
That seems to be a lot of their stuff.
Hey, mister, get your laws off my sister.
What? Do you have anything to say to that, Bane? I don't...
Hey, mister, get your laws, was it, off my sister?
I think so.
So, is that like an pro-choice argument, I'm guessing?
I think so.
So why is she... This is meant to be criticising male feminists, isn't it? I assume it's satire.
So. Yeah.
So what exactly is wrong with that? Does she want them to be anti-abortion? I don't know. I'm just confused because she's criticising them for being pro-choice.
She is extremely confusing.
Yeah.
I'm very pro-abortion. I've probably caused like 10 abortions myself.
What?
So if a man and woman has sex and she becomes pregnant, it is clearly the man's fault. Even though she criticised us in the MRA video for...
Well, I think that's a man who's promoting female forms of birth control and stuff, and he's saying that he has convinced 10 women to have abortions. And I just...
Oh, so he's forced them into it somehow.
Yeah, so he's taking away women's choices or something. I don't even know. I'm trying to make sense of something that just doesn't have any sense.
It's just confusing, isn't it?
Well, according to Bell Hooks...
Ooh.
But just on the last point before we go on to bell hooks, she criticised MRAs for wanting reproductive rights. So surely if men had reproductive rights, then if what you're assuming is true, that she's criticising male feminists for supposedly forcing a woman into 10 abortions, if he had reproductive methods of his own, then she'd be less likely to get pregnant, wouldn't she? If it was like a male pill or something.
Yeah. No, but then what would happen is men would lie about being on the pill, and,
yes,
and therefore it's bad because there is a potential for men to misuse it.
Yeah, but the same logic doesn't apply to women who are on the pill.
No, of course
or
not.
say
Of course
they
not.
are on the pill, because a woman would never.
A
woman has never lied throughout history.
No,
there's never been a case of a woman lying or deceiving, apparently.
Oh, no, it's just at a level where it's inconsequential. I mean,
it's okay to suggest that men routinely lie, but to suggest that a woman might lie is blasphemy. So it's.
Well, yeah, here's the thing: is like the thing about like the cry, the sort of how feminists get so pissed off about MRAs talking about false rape allegations. So you've got a situation where a man is being called a rapist, and they think the woman is being called a liar. They are more morally outraged about the woman being called a liar than the man being called a rapist. So either they think being called a liar is worse than being called a rapist, or they think that women should have a higher standard of being treated than men.
Or they just assume that every allegation counts as an actual rape.
Well, it's but
even the ones that are aren't proven in a court of law.
Yeah, I guess.
Or the ones that are proven false.
I still haven't actually gotten an answer for that one.
I'll admit, was it 2 to 8% of false, right? They'll often admit that there's 2 to
8%, but that's inconsequential.
But they'll still say that 97% of rapists aren't prosecuted. Well, they don't take into account the 2 to 8%, which they just admitted were false, though, do they?
Yeah, I know, like roughly 1 in 20. That's an inconsequential number, even if it is only a lower bound. But I mean, even if that lower bound is
statistic.
Yeah,
it's more like 12%, and that's only the cases which are proven. So that's about 1 in 8.
Yeah, and then there's like a.
But every accusation is obviously true.
I know. I mean, there's what is it? 6% are proven true. See? See, it's only an inconsequential number. So what we should do is we shouldn't ever prosecute a man for rape, because it's only a small number of rape cases that are ever proven true. This is proof this is proof that women lie about rape all the time. So therefore, we shouldn't ever prosecute anyone. Go on, quote my.
That is the same logic.
That is their logic, though.
It's faulty logic. It's faulty logic, but it is exactly the same logic, unfortunately. Now, let's see.
Yeah, I read the Scum Manifesto, and I felt bad for like a day. It's really great satire.
I've heard female feminists say that. I've heard female feminists say it's satire. Like they will.
Can satire still be hateful though?
I don't know. These people.
I would argue that it can.
But I think what she's complaining about is that he thinks it's satire. I think she's saying that it.
No, but it's a common claim that it's satire because obviously she didn't want to implement those things. Not that she had the power to. Maybe if she had the power to, it'd be a different. It would be more than satire. Who knows? I mean, she clearly wasn't sane, was she?
No, from her behaviour, it's obvious that she was not sane.
Yeah, so let's, for argument's sake, say it is satire. Can satire still be hateful?
Well, no, the
I mean,
hate
if
is what was
someone
being
if someone
satirised.
put on blackface, for example, right, and did an anti-black thing and said it was satire, would that still be considered racist?
No, but power plus privilege, Bane.
Well, that's the get out of jail free card, isn't it? So, yeah. But I would argue that satire can still be hateful.
Yeah, I think it can be.
Yeah.
You need me, okay? You really need me. Without me, your movement is just a bunch of women.
Hashtag he for she. It's the women. There's a lot of women who are feminists who want men to do things for them.
Yeah.
But then again, there are male feminists who have this
You mispronounced that, by the way. It's he for me.
That's perfect. I love it.
Yeah.
You know, did you hear about the whole there was a little thing on Twitter with Emma Watson, is that some she spoke about she was doing some kind of feminist book club or feminist reading club or something like that, and someone suggested a book on Twitter. It was like Christina Hoff Sommers, Who Stole Feminism, and whoever was and the thing was, whoever was on the account at the time, it might not have actually been Emma Watson, liked the tweet, so it was actually read.
Oh, really? In the book club?
Yeah, the thing about the book club. So Emma Watson's Twitter account liked that tweet saying, suggesting Who Stole Feminism by Christina Hoff Sommers.
Do you know if she's read it? I'd love her to read it.
I really would want her to read that.
Yeah, I doubt that she has, but I'd love her to read it.
Yeah.
That could be a whole TV series where we just watch her reaction as she reads it.
Yes.
Wasn't there there was some terrible English show which I think we had an Aussie version out here which I never watched. I think it was called Gogglebox or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Where they record people watching TV shows to see their reaction.
Oh God, no!
What was it called? Terrible. I just saw the ads for it and thought, no fucking way.
No,
I'm going
it was
near
terrible. I saw like 10 minutes of it and I was like, yeah, no. Like, why are you watching this, Mum?
Is that when you came up from the basement?
We're too poor to have a basement. I would actually probably choose the basement if we had one, but no, I went upstairs to my room.
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough. But yeah, I could imagine a TV series like that where Emma Watson reads Who Stole Feminism.
You know, I would love to have someone who isn't like a feminist, who's within sort of this community, actually have a conversation with Emma Watson. Just have everything recorded.
Yeah, I can't see it happening somehow.
I couldn't see it happening either, but it would be very, very fucking interesting.
Yeah.
I really think we should organize like a slut walk here. Hey Tiffany, could you maybe draft up some leaflets and flyers and make sure you put that I organized this entire thing? Yeah, me. And
does this happen? I mean, I don't know much about the inner workings of feminist groups, but do the male feminists try and take everything over?
I think they're accused of doing it. I think whenever someone suggests something and they happen to have a penis, then it's considered to be patriarchy invading, female spaces or something by some feminists.
Yeah, I mean...
which is why we get some saying that males can't be feminists, they can only be allies, and they kind of have to sit in the corner and be quiet.
Yeah,
I've actually
I mean, really, like this argument is a lose-lose situation. Either it's male feminists are being wrongfully accused of it, or male feminists are actually like patriarchal and shit. Because we don't seem to have this problem in any of our communities.
No, but the assumption is that all males are naturally oppressive, and so any male suggesting something has to then be oppressing a woman somewhere.
Yeah, but
even if it's a good idea, right? It's wrong because he should have given a woman a chance to come up with that idea.
Yeah,
it's that type of logic, and it's toxic.
It really is, but obviously, you gotta understand, Bane. It's toxic at the start. It really tastes bad, but it gets good after a while. Because the thing is, when there are no more men, there won't be any wars. There won't be any social issues. There'll be no domestic violence, of course. There'll be no rape.
The femtopia.
Yeah, it'll be a femtopia. It'll be perfect.
Yeah. I've seen red femmes make that argument before.
I've heard
it was often made on
women in normal life, like in normal real life, say things like if there were no men, there would be no war. This is like mainstreaming female chauvinism.
Yep.
But
so if Hillary becomes president, does that mean there won't be any wars that America's involved?
No, but she has to act like a man.
Yes, well, that's the get out of jail card. Get out of jail free card again,
she has to work
isn't it?
within the patriarchy. Same thing with Thatcher, and what was that woman who was convicted of genocide or something?
Yeah, I knew you'd bring her up because I can't pronounce her surname. Her first name's Pauline. Her surname has about 20 letters in it. I can't pronounce it. Last time I mentioned her in a video, it took about 20 attempts to get anywhere near pronouncing her surname. But she was in the whole Rwandan genocide, and she was convicted of genocide, of taking part in genocide. And I've argued.
It wasn't female-led, though, was it? It was led by other men, and she was just part of it.
Well, she's the Prime Minister of Women and Families, or something like that.
Men were controlling. Men were controlling her. Men were controlling her. It's a man's fault.
What I've heard feminists say, that all war atrocities have been committed by men. I've brought her up, and they've said, but she was acting in the male role, so it doesn't count. Which is what they'll always say whenever you bring up a female who does it.
Yeah. It's totally not shifting the goalposts. It's totally not shifting.
No, it's a circular argument. They start with the assumption that war is something that men do, and it's a male trait, right? And then if you bring up any example which isn't male, they'll say, well, they're acting as in the male role, so they'll use it as proof that. Yeah,
they take the word male and then they shift it. It starts out as men, and then when they're shown examples of women doing it as well, they take the word male and they make it an adjective of masculinity, basically.
Yeah, but feminism is against gender roles, Spino. We're told that all the time.
Yeah, that's true. They're just if we just keep adding more feminism, all of this will be solved somehow.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Give me some coffee while you're at it. Men get slut shamed too.
They do.
Yeah, that is true.
And they do.
The word slut is usually used for females. The word sleazebag is usually used for males.
Yep. Or
other such words.
Fuckboy, dude, bro, all of that shit. It's just.
Yeah.
But I guess I guess because patriarchy and power plus privilege, it's not as important for men.
Well, they got that penis magic going,
don't
they? So.
And they're being congratulated by everyone. because I have never seen a man congratulated for having sex with lots of women. I've never seen this happen.
Well, typically it's a lot harder for a man to get laid than it is for a woman.
Yeah, I mean, there is that case of the a key that can be a key that can open a bunch of doors as a master key, but a lock that can be opened by a bunch of different keys is a shitty lock.
Oh, that sounds like rape apology to me. You're going to be on Kev's rape file.
No, that's just pure slut shaming. That's not rape culture.
Same thing. It's all rapey. You're talking about a key and a lock. That's obviously forced. The lock wasn't asking for it. I've never heard a lock ask for it, so.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I am also engaging in rape apology. I mean, denial of rape culture is proof of rape culture. Let's face it.
I think I saw Steinem saying in a video once that she described skyscrapers as being penis-like or something crazy like that. I don't think I saved the video, and I looked for it later on but couldn't find it. But I thought that was pretty. Oh,
it's much harder for a man to have sex than a woman. Bane is projecting. Oh, positive.
That's not what your mum says.
Oh. The banter. If you don't care who you fuck and just hit on every woman in sight, I doubt it's that hard. Oh,
sorry, Poz, I couldn't help but go there. I mean, everyone's been there, so, you know.
My mum is who told me Bane has a micro penis. Hey Spino, kill yourself. No, Fiffin, I won't kill myself. You could try, but I'm not asking for it.
Let's continue.
Yes, let's continue.
Terry has to
I
say.
know you think I'm a creepy, porn-sick weirdo, but feminism is for everybody. Bell hooks.
Creepy, porn-sick weirdo.
Yep. And what's wrong with that, I've got to say?
Oh, well, Bane's feeling insulted.
Hey, what?
Bane's feeling insulted. He doesn't like it when his kin is maligned in such a manner. Oh, yeah. I don't even understand the whole fucking the shaming around porn. I guess it must be something to do with the whole rad fem and swerfiness and shit like that.
Oh, look, as long as women aren't forced into it, what is the problem? If they choose to do it, then I don't have a problem with that.
I just don't seem to enjoy watching people fucking. Just not my thing. Other people having sex. Never.
So you're not into midget, Bigfoot, Nazi porn? Am I the only one?
Well, clearly not, because if it exists, it's probably got more than one fan.
Yeah, that's probably true.
You have a genre of porn to yourself.
Poz just said my mum looks amazing naked. That's too much information there, Poz. I don't want to know how you know that.
How do you know that, Poz? Like, that is a weird family you have.
Yeah, I think your mum might need to go to jail there, Poz.
No, I don't like watching sex. It's just not my thing. I don't know why. I'm weird.
Oh, that's fair enough.
Yeah, But I don't shame other people for watching porn. You can... We need to find some dino-kin porn for Spino.
Yeah, maybe you just haven't found your kink. That's all.
That's maybe, or yeah, or maybe I'm just strange. Let's just leave it at that.
Terry Strange.
Oh God, no! Oh dear God! Oh.
You should grow a mustache like hers.
Like the one she's drawn on here.
Yes. Anyway, let's continue.
Oh God.
Audre Lorde Zombie is like the best book I've ever read. Like, amazing. C is for cookie, that's good enough for me.
What?
What? I
don't understand half of this video.
C is for... I think this says more
maybe
about...
I don't hang out with enough male feminists.
Yeah,
That's
maybe
clearly the problem.
I would love some male feminists to do a response to this video. Like,
we need to go to more Red Fem meetings and just sit in the back and listen. Maybe the video would make sense then.
yeah. I just...
Look, I just want a lot of praise and adulation for basically being a decent human being.
Nothing is good enough.
Yeah, I would say that there are some male feminists who do like to get a pat on the head.
Yeah, but I don't think that's... I don't think that there are certain behaviours that are just being a decent human being. But then when you're an activist, when you're like a political activist trying to putting your career and life and just everything on the line for a political cause, I think that does deserve some level of praise, even if you don't like agree with the cause, even if you don't agree with the cause. But when you obviously feminism isn't necessarily this political cause that has such a heavy cost for individuals who fight for it. You're not gonna get kicked out of anywhere for being a feminist. Well,
so I think this ties in with the cookie thing too.
This ties in with the cookie thing somehow.
Yeah, C is for cookie. I think it's was it? Do you want a cookie? You know, have you ever seen that response?
Oh yeah, maybe it's got something to do with that.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense now.
So if you're a male feminist, you shouldn't expect any thanks, because doing it should be thanks enough, I think is what she's saying.
Well, doing it is what's expected. That's like the bare minimum.
Yeah.
And this... oh yeah, but women are the ones held up to impossible standards.
Clearly.
Fuck's sake.
And not being a total asshole. Can't you, like, women figure it out? I am a good guy.
I would actually say that there are male feminists do seem to have more nice guy syndrome than any other group.
Which is funny, because that's what we're accused of all the time.
Yeah, we are accused of that, but it is more often them. It makes me wonder if so many of like feminist generalizations about men come from male feminists, the men that they end up interacting with most often.
Yeah, that's possible.
And it would I mean, think about it. Like Kevin Logan, massive hypocrite, and what do they say about MRAs? They're massive hypocrites, and the whole MRAs are just trying to get laid. What does that say about male feminists, or at least female feminist opinions of male feminists?
Yeah. And the whole fedora thing. Didn't that come from?
There is a picture of Jonathan McIntosh in a fedora.
Yeah.
And neckbeards.
Well, that's the whole hipster thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, and fucking neckbeards. Have you like so many like lumber sexual male feminists exists that they're just what the fuck is this chat going on now? Is trans triceratop otherkin? This is our chat. This is the chat. What did you?
Yeah, I keep on going into it, but I'm trying not to watch it because then I just sit here and read, and it's probably not that interesting to people to listen to me read something in silence, especially those who are going to be watching it in the future and can't see the chat.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm launching my professional writing career just basically regurgitating the same words that women have written many times in much more clear, direct language than I ever will, and getting paid for it because people actually want to hear it when it comes from a man.
So they only listen to men. Okay.
Yeah. I have never seen someone take a male feminist more seriously than a female feminist. Ever.
Well, who are the biggest names in the feminist movement? They're not men.
No.
I mean, Dworkin would have to be up the top, wouldn't she?
I mean, she was quite butch. I mean, there's a point where a lot of these feminists, they're so butch that you're not actually sure what gender they are.
Do you think it might be penis envy on behalf of some of them?
Like actual, yeah, Freud was right. Look at Terry right here. Look at Terry right here. Would you, on first glance, be able to tell whether that was a girl or a boy?
I'd still say female, but she isn't overly feminine, I admit.
Because I have seen 14-year-old boys that look like her.
With the drawn-on mustache. That's what's tricking you.
It is. It must be the mustache. It's the.
But I find it interesting.
It's part of the patriarchy. It's brainwashing me.
I find it interesting that feminists often criticise attributes which are often prescribed to men, like the action hero type thing, right? But when a woman fills those same roles, it's seen as a positive. So when a man does it, it's
sometimes
toxic.
It's not.
It's toxic masculinity, but when a woman does it, it's a good thing.
It's female empowerment.
Like Furiosa, right? I thought she was a good character, but she played a very stereotypical male role, didn't she?
Oh, I haven't actually seen that yet. I need to watch it.
Oh, okay.
But wait,
okay.
Why did you watch it, Bane? There was a fucking MRA boycott. you
See, there's another quote mine.
You're fucking transgressive. You have ruined the men's rights plot to boycott a movie because we thought it was feminist.
Yep.
Bane, you're such a terrible men's rights activist.
I know. I'm a red MRA.
You're a voice for manginas.
It's so easy. I mean, yeah, I wrote about raping women and trying to kill my ex-girlfriend on my blog, but if you write about it anywhere else or tell anyone about it, then I'm going to sue you.
Is this something that actually happened?
I don't know.
I want context to this.
Once again, I think we can make the connection here between male feminists and Rush V. I think Rush V is a male feminist based on this information. I want to see the press go with this because there's more evidence presented in this video than the press has shown for Rush to be an MRA.
That's perfect. That is
same argument. It sounds like she's talking about Rush. That's enough proof, isn't it, feminists?
Yeah,
Surely?
they sound
Using
they
their
sound
standards.
similar. Yeah, their standards are sounding
Using
similar.
their standards.
So,
I actually have a higher standard of evidence, but using their standards, yeah,
Ruth
we
is a
should go with
feminist,
that.
but not all
Yep.
feminists are like that. See, you're allowed to take anyone who isn't an
Of
MRA,
course.
and you're allowed to sort of you're allowed to take a guy who isn't an MRA and use him as an example of all MRAs. But
Yep.
Any feminist that does anything bad, they're not an example of
Not all feminists are like that, but all MRAs are.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, PUAs are representatives of all MRAs, but no feminist who does anything bad is a representative of feminism.
Yep. And that's a logical argument, apparently.
Okay, libel, alright? I will sue you.
I'm still not sure though. Is this a case we don't know about? Like a case of a male feminist talking about killing and raping women?
I don't know. I'm sure there must have been one somewhere. I mean, you know.
I might actually like leave a comment on her video. Someone should leave a comment on her video asking her like, is this a specific occurrence that she could like link to or something? Because I'd like to hear about it if that's the case.
Well, she either knows one case, right? Because I'm sure there's at least one case out there of, you know, something like this happening, or she's just created it out of thin air, you know.
Yeah, that's
Either is
probably,
a possibility.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a common thing though. If it was a common thing, I think we would have made tons of videos about it by now. We would have heard about it.
Well, no, because apparently they're threatening the women as well, aren't they? They're threatening the women to not speak out and sue them. But,
so the video is called "Shit Male Feminists Say." Note the plural. So she's suggesting that more than one.
Yeah, this happens more than once.
Yeah, which I find hard to believe that it's that common.
Well, I don't know. According to her, all male feminists are evil. So.
I agree with that, but you know. No, I'm only joking.
Nah.
Just 99%. Anyway, let's continue.
Hashtag ban all Kool-Aid.
A cookie starts with C.
Yeah.
This is this was interesting.
Did you say there was one more?
There might be one more. But we could do shit liberal feminists say, but that might take quite a bit of time. How long have we been doing this? Let me go check. The stream has been going on for like at least over 2 hours, probably 3.
Okay, I could probably do another half an hour.
Yeah.
Should we have a quick crack at it? We'll go through it quickly. We'll get through part of it at least.
Let's get as quick as possible.
Yep.
Shit liberal feminists say. Come on, Terry. Give us some more gems.
I hope she's got a mustache in this one. I really do.
No, she hasn't. Oh,
I'm disappointed.
You see?
I was hoping
you take things more seriously when they're said by a man. It's the mustache. It's the patriarchy. You are proof of patriarchy, Bane.
No. Varmint Coyote has a goatee and she's a woman, so.
Yeah, but it's still the male role.
I don't know. I'm confused. Anyway.
See if this works. Let's go.
How can you call this a feminist group if there's no men in it?
Well, if feminism is claiming that for equality, then surely...
This is the problem, is that there are a lot of feminists who think that feminism's for equality. Terry, here's a good idea. We could join forces, and what we can do is we can both explain that feminism isn't about equality. Right? Is that a good idea? I like this idea of working with radfems. Now I could be quote mined.
I don't know if I like that idea, but this is the problem with feminists, right? They say, oh, we don't need a men's rights movement. Feminism is for everyone. We'll take care of men's issues. So then we say, okay, what are you doing to take care of men's issues? And they say, well, we're just concerned with women's issues.
Yeah, they'll say one of two things. They'll say we're just concerned with women's issues, or they'll say we're smashing the patriarchy. This all-encompassing vague patriarchy, and somehow by doing that, by promoting feminism and talking about women's issues, men's issues will just be solved automatically.
Yes. Once we've solved the problem of air conditioning in offices being oppressive to women, we can get around to stop mutilating the genitals of baby boys. But it's all about priorities.
That's just the idiot branch of feminism. It's just the idiot branch. Not the real human rights group.
Which is in the mainstream media. I was in an article in two mainstream newspapers.
All feminists, though? All feminists?
Hey?
I'm sorry, I'm being, making fun of Russian Deadpool.
Yeah, I figured with your really, really bad Russian accent. Yeah,
but yeah, it's just like, yeah. The thing is that it's the number of feminists who tell me that feminism is for everyone, and it seems to be equal to the number of feminists that tell me that feminism is just for women. And,
yeah, it does seem to be a bit that way.
And sometimes it's the same person saying both at different times for when it suits them. Yeah.
You have a victim mentality.
A feminist saying that to a radfem. If anyone has told you that, they were also a feminist.
Let's continue.
Yeah.
Belinda Jenner is so beautiful.
Belinda Jenner? I don't even know.
Yes, I am a feminist. No, it does not mean that I hate men. No, it does not mean that I'm a lesbian. No, it does not mean that I'm ugly.
So, alright, assuming that she is criticising liberal feminists for saying this stuff, then she is criticising them for saying that they don't hate men. So, is it logical to then assume that she is saying that they should hate men?
I think... Yeah, I think she's saying feminists should hate men, they should be lesbians, they should be ugly. Wow. I
find it weird when people or radfems criticise liberal feminists for saying things like that. It's just weird to me.
It really is. But wow. Okay.
Mind you, I think when a lot of so-called liberal feminists or mainstream feminists say that they don't hate men, they often back it up. They often back it up with 2 seconds later with something about toxic masculinity or some other thing.
I think even then they might not actually hate men. They might just be generally prejudiced and bigoted towards them. I think hate is a strong word.
Yeah.
So when a feminist says, "Oh, I don't hate men," no, you could just respond, "No, you're just generally bigoted towards them."
I just hate masculinity.
Yeah, I guess so.
Or the stereotype of masculinity.
Yeah, that seems to be more the case. Is they seem to think men are evil.
Yep.
Trigger warning. What do you mean mothers have privilege? I mean, I don't think mothers have privilege. Life is hard for me. I have to, like, take care of my children and stuff. And, like, sometimes, like, men don't want to sleep with me anymore. And
is she suggesting that mothers are privileged? I don't even know what to say to this. Bane?
Yeah, I'm a bit confused. I am a bit confused by some of these arguments.
And if you think that's privilege, then you're wrong.
According, but I thought you're talking about a rape victim by your own logic.
Is she talking about stay-at-home mothers, maybe?
But even in but isn't that oppression? Aren't stay-at-home mothers?
I'm confused.
Or is it that it's straight female privilege or something? I don't even know.
It is a bit confusing.
Male feminists are so dreamy.
No one says that. I'm sorry.
Come on, Kev is a bit dreamy.
No, I shit you not. I remember actually on a stream that Sargon was on with Kevin Logan and Jenny McDermott and some other feminists. Yeah, the one who was being described as dreamy was not Kev. It was Sargon.
I just thought of something hilarious. I just thought of something so funny. What we need to do is find a picture of Kevin Logan with a beard, right? Put a fedora on him, and start using that as an MRA meme.
We should send it to some rad femmes and just send them memes of like straw MRAs.
Yep. That'd be so funny.
It would be, because it would spread like fucking wildfire.
Oh, poor Kev.
We would be torturing the poor guy. Oh, you are evil, Bane. You are evil.
Thank you.
Futrell was right. That skull, it's proof you're evil.
Yep.
That is wonderful. I love this
Not
idea.
bad for quite 3 in the morning.
Yeah. No, that is amazing for 3 in the morning. I'm actually considering going and doing that as a maybe considering going putting some shit like that on Twitter, because that make a sock account and send it to some feminists.
Yep. We could maybe we could find some quotes from Kevin, say shit MRAs say or something like that.
That's perfect. I love it.
Maybe the what was the cum bucket line he said?
Yes.
Use her as a cum bucket.
But in his defence, he did take it back. But
I know.
But that would.
That's the type of quote mining Kevin is famous for, though.
That's also true. I'm liking this idea. I will consider this and actually maybe flesh it out later on. Let's move on with this though. We try and get through it.
How can you think being a lesbian is a choice? Why would anyone choose that? I mean, ew.
I'm just.
Do people choose their sexuality?
I
think they tend to be born that way, don't they?
I think to an extent it's born. I don't think you can choose your sexuality, but I think it's mostly innate, but it can get fucked up by certain things.
Oh yeah, there can be social pressure to be a certain way.
No, I mean like people who end up in sort of abusive situations tend to have very weird fetishes, or sometimes become abusers themselves. I think it's possible that that your sexuality isn't 100% unchanging and innate, but there is at least a significant portion of it that's innate. And I don't think you can make a straight person gay or a gay person straight, personally.
No.
But that's just me.
I don't think it's something someone just chooses, you know.
Okay, let's move on.
Yep. I mean, body shaming, cisgender, agender, bigender, trigender, demisexual, polygender.
Okay, well, I kind of agree with her that stuff is a little stupid.
Yeah. It's gone a bit too far, isn't it, with each group breaking themselves up into smaller and smaller groups.
Yeah, the whole, but this stuff is, that is feminism. But at least she's calling out those kinds of people, because she disagrees with them. You don't see much of this on the, strangely, she's actually criticising people she disagrees with, including people on her own side.
Well, she's a red femme, so technically you could argue that the lib femmes aren't on her side. I don't think she would see them as on her side.
I guess so.
I'm sure they disagree on lots of things.
But then we would consider rad femmes on the side of most feminists. Like we would say they are in some way in your camp.
When it comes to things like patriarchy theory, rape culture, toxic masculinity, and all those things, yeah, you can class them all as being one group. But when it comes to trans rights and other things, there's obviously big differences which should be acknowledged.
But yeah, this is at the very least she's criticising people. So there's I guess there's something mildly.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think I have a problem with the whole constant, ever changing level of terminology for people in these
sexuality
groups
and stuff.
Yeah, like, you know, I'm going to break off I'm going to break off from that group and form a new group because I like the color blue, as well as being, you know, trisexual, amorphic, whatever, blah blah blah. But you know what I mean. Well, I think they've taken it too far.
But Bane, if people aren't able to label themselves with obscure sexualities, then how are you gonna? How do you know if they're Kool-Aid jug sexual?
Don't start that as a thing.
Well, I guess you know the Positive's mum is Kool-Aid jug sexual, so.
Yeah, well, not only that.
What do you mean if I'm in a relationship with a man that it means I can't be queer?
Sorry, Pos, I didn't mean to slut shame your mum, by the way.
Yes, he did. Yeah, there seems to be some cancerous guy in the chat. He's weird. All caps.
Oh, well,
Okay.
it's always bound to be one, isn't there?
Yeah, there's always one.
Andrea Dworkin thought all sex was rape. Like, all sex is rape. That's what she thought. So therefore, she's invalid.
Oh, yeah, well, that feminist does have a point. That woman is clearly crazy if she thinks that, right? It doesn't invalidate her other positions, but...
Did I read somewhere that Dworkin's eventually married a man and kept it secret?
Did she? I'd have to look that up.
I'm looking it up at the moment, so...
If you do find anything out, I'll talk to the chat while you do. If her face is so big, it kind of is big. Not really. Watch some MGTOW videos and you will become anti-MGTOW. Oh, Yobi Axes.
No, look, there is an extreme aspect of MGTOW, but
Bane,
not all MGTOW should be thrown under the
Yobi
bus.
Axes says hi.
Who does?
Yobi Axes.
Oh, here you go, mate.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, I think there is an extreme aspect of MGTOW, and I have realised that from my position as a very sort of public my face and everything out there activist, that I'm going to have to sort of reduce my association with MGTOW. For political reasons more than anything else. But
so anyway, Dworkin got married in 1998.
Oh yeah?
To a male feminist she met in 1974.
Ooh.
And I think they kept it secret. After her death, Stoltenberg, who is the male feminist, said, "It's why we never told anybody really that we married, because people get confused about that. They think, oh, she's yours, and we just did not want that nonsense."
Okay, that's very interesting.
So I wonder if they had penis in vagina sex. And just as I was saying that, I thought to myself, I really don't want to know.
Yeah. I don't either.
I feel a little bit ill at the moment. Just
yeah. I don't even want to know how that would work with Andrea Dworkin and just like all the mechanics and stuff of it as well.
I assume he had to be in a separate room, and
yeah.
I don't know what happened after that, but I doubt they were in the same room together somehow.
Yeah, let's.
But maybe we're straw manning Dworkins.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe she was a lot more reasonable.
Yeah, she was actually just like she might have been like 100%
misunderstood.
She could have been like 100% reasonable, and her whole shtick was just to make feminism look bad from the inside.
She's a CIA plant to destroy feminism from the inside. Oh, there's another quote mine.
Yep. I should get that tinfoil Bane image. Oh well.
Women of color who are prostitutes are more likely to be killed than like anyone else on earth, and prostitution is empowering.
Yeah, okay, she's kind of got a point that the fear-mongering around things like prostitution and sex slavery and stuff is, to an extent, contradictory with the idea that prostitution is empowering, but I don't tend to hear the fear-mongering from the sex-positive side of feminism, or what they will say is that
she's taking a certain type of prostitution and then applying it to all prostitution. I would argue that someone working on a street corner because they've got a heroin addiction is very different than someone who chooses to work in a clean, regulated brothel.
Yeah, or I guess you could also extend it to porn almost, because you're basically just paid to have sex, but instead it's just on camera.
Mm.
And the client is also paid to do it. The person you're having sex with is also paid to do it, so it's technically.
Like I said, as long as no one's forced into it, I think it's the individual's choice.
Yeah, and I
now you could argue that someone working on a street corner is forced into it because of their drug habit. But you know, if they're not forced into that, they're going to be forced into bugging people or something, aren't they?
Yeah.
So
I think the whole idea that I've heard things like, oh well, because I think it was something you, James, made out, like homeless men are privileged because they're less likely to be forced into prostitution or something like that. And I'm thinking, okay, if a homeless woman then chooses to go into prostitution, so she's no longer homeless, then it must be then for her to choose prostitution over homelessness means to her it must be the better choice. Even if it's not a good one, it must be a better one.
yeah, I think I made the same argument for the skeptic feminists.
But just I don't even know.
You're right. If someone is given a choice between prostituting themselves and not prostituting themselves, and they choose to do it, as opposed to you know, freezing on a park bench in the middle of winter or something, then it's surely that would be the lesser of two evils.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why would they choose to do it? Not that it's a good thing that they're forced into it, obviously. But you can hardly say that those who don't have that choice are privileged. It's just a very, very weird. Hey?
You're jug-splaining. There we go. Or skull-splaining. Hashtag skull-splaining.
Yeah.
Make that a trend on Twitter. No, I can't make trends yet. Not yet. I'm not Sargon or Milo yet. Let's move on.
Someone's just said, dude, the reason the industry is so exploited is because it's illegal.
That's also a good point.
Yeah. But it's not illegal everywhere.
Yeah, it's not illegal. It's not illegal.
There are legal brothels some places around the world.
Same guy who's like, some guys screaming in our chat still, like, the MRAs hate all MGTOWs. No, I don't hate all MGTOWs, I just disagree with most of the online types. Because they seem to...
I wouldn't even go that far. I don't think... I'd say most of the online types. There are... The movement definitely has an increasing number of more radicals, though.
Yeah, and I understand where it's coming from. I
don't think all MGTOWs are like that, though. I think the basic concept of MGTOW at its core is bad.
But then you could probably then say the same about feminism, and the dictionary definition of feminism is equality, and that's not a bad thing. So
I've got no problem with a women's rights advocacy group. It's just all the shit that goes on top of it, the patriarchy theory and all the other shit, which ends up being man-hating, which is the same problem I have with the more extreme aspects of MGTOW, when it turns into all women are this particular thing or all women are that. It's really no different than the Red Femme saying all men are all masculinity.
Yeah, I was actually just I had some guy commenting on my my channel, like, most women all women are manipulative liars, and there's no such thing as a good woman, only one with a better mask on, or something like that.
There's another quote mine.
Yeah. There is another quote mine. And he was talking about like hypergamy, which I need to sort of explain some of my thoughts on that, because it is a bit of a complicated topic. But yeah, it's just There seems to be a.
So hypergamy, women tend to marry men at their own level or higher.
Yeah, they tend to marry. They marry up in terms of in terms of resources, while men will marry in terms of appearance. But I think that's, for one, it's reductionistic, and two, I don't think that's
You're painting with broad brushes, but I do think there is an aspect to it, and it makes sense from an evolutionary point of view too. I mean, you're going to have a more secure family unit if you marry someone with more security, which is what more wealth is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And at the same time, men tend to find younger, healthier-looking women more attractive because, obviously, they're better childbearers.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily think that is the. I don't think that's as defining a factor in relationships as certain MGTOWs do believe.
It's not the only factor, and we shouldn't generalise everyone like that, but I do think it is an influence.
Yeah, obviously it's an influence, but I think there are certain people, and there was someone in the chat is talking about Coltane, and I think he overplayed the influence of hypergamy in relationships and tried to explain.
It's like saying people tend to like fatty foods, right? And you can say that's an evolutionary thing because it's high in energy. So we have a desire to eat fatty foods, but that doesn't mean that every person likes fatty foods. There's plenty of vegetarians out there who are disgusted by the idea of eating meat.
And I don't necessarily think that because people have a certain tendency to eating fatty foods that means all food is going to be fatty, or that
but there is a tendency or a trend.
It doesn't mean that most people are mostly going to eat fatty foods. That I mean, at the moment we have a sort of a corporate system that is trying to that will peddle fatty foods because it's easier and quicker to convince people to eat them, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's
no, I think they're selling so many fatty foods because people like to eat them.
Yeah, but I think then then on top of that they will then they won't just leave it to your own biology to just sort of figure it out. There's ad campaigns and there's
so it's a feedback loop. What you're saying?
Yeah, it's a feedback loop.
Yeah. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that there is an influence from advertising and things like that. But the underlying factor is that people do typically like fatty foods. Now that doesn't mean that everyone likes fatty foods or everyone eats fatty foods, and that there aren't vegetarians or vegans or anything like that, but it is a
it doesn't mean that your average person is always going to choose a fatty food over a non-fatty food either.
Yeah, exactly. But it is a evolutionary byproduct.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fair enough.
And I think the same thing can be said about hypergamy. I think it is a evolutionary factor, but it's obviously not the only factor.
Yeah, and trying to paint it as the only factor would be...
Oh, that's wrong.
Yeah, it would be intellectually lazy at best.
Mm.
And, should we get on with the last of this video? See if we can power through it.
Yep.
Stop telling women what to do, alright? We can make our own choices.
This is actually another thing that I have seen in certain feminist groups is feminism is all about choice, and then they say, oh no, feminism isn't about choice. And I agree. Feminism is not about choice.
It is about choice as long as you choose the right thing.
Yeah, sounds right.
Yep.
Stop telling me what to do. I guess I identify as a demi-girl, so sometimes I identify as a girl, but sometimes I don't, but mostly I identify as a girl.
What is a
That's actually,
demigirl?
that actually is a very good description of what that's supposed to mean. It's a I'm not I identify as a girl.
Is that like
sometimes.
gender fluid? Or
Yeah,
something?
it's gender fluid, but it's gender fluid, but with a bias towards female.
Okay.
Yeah, a demi boy is a gender fluid with a bias towards male.
I'm kind of the mind that people should be able to, go and be who they are and do whatever they want, as long as they're not hurting anyone, of course. So if someone,
this seems to be an unnecessary level of categorization.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, but it's when I don't know, when they criticise people who aren't in their group, I find that annoying, and so the whole anti-cis thing, I do find it annoying.
Yeah, or what they'll do is they will take this oh, I'm demi or something like that, or I'm non-binary, and then they then lose the they can then consider themselves oppressed and part of the oppressed trans or the outside of the gender binary, and anyone within the gender binary is now oppressive, and you have to like pay reparations to them or something. But this is just. But I kind of agree with this radfem that shit can be a bit crazy. I don't normally agree with radfems, but okay. What's going on? Okay. It's not letting me press play. What's going on?
Why don't you hold on? How have I become the controller? How do I get control?
You got control?
Yeah. Alright. So anyway, let's...
Are you playing it?
Yeah.
Oh, I think we're in a different room now. What's going on?
Oh, can't you see that?
No, I can't.
You're still in the room according to...
I'm still in the other... what's going... Fucking technical difficulties. I don't know what's going on.
Hashtag Spino stuffed up.
Yeah. No, I think this is sync video. Do you want to X out of the link and then like go back in it or something? See what happens.
All right, let me refresh.
Chat, help. Spino is lost.
Can you resend me the link? Because I appear to be in a room by myself.
Oh,
in video.
uh,
Just send it to me on Skype. Yeah.
yeah, there we go. This is great.
You're gonna love the name it randomly chose for me.
If I'm in it.
And you're not.
Oh.
Hold on.
No, let me join. Let me join.
It randomly chose the name Fat Applesauce for some reason.
Yeah. Why is there 3 people in here? Oh, I'm in. I'm in
because
here
I had
now.
2 windows open. So.
I'm in here now.
Yeah.
So I might have to just quickly grab shit liberal feminists say. I will chuck that in here. What?
We're at the 157 mark.
Oh, I think you're controller.
Oh, am I?
You might. Oh wait, you're disconnecting again.
How can you call this a feminist?
Yeah, there we go. What was it? It was 1 minute 57.
Yep. So I've got control.
Oh no, I have.
You can see that? Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Okay.
I still got control for some reason. Don't know why. Just have. Because I have the power. Your connection keeps going out for some reason. Is this because you live out in a desert?
Nah.
Identify as a girl. Bruce Jenner is so brave.
Caitlyn, you shitlord. Bane?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. Caitlyn, you shitlord.
More transphobic stuff. Anyway.
You transphobic shitlord. She's stunning and brave.
We've got less than a minute to go, so let's get through it.
So brave. Laverne Cox is like so beautiful. Like that is the epitome of what a black woman should be.
Do you know who that is?
I know the name.
I've heard the name as well from somewhere. Who knows? Let's just move on, I guess.
Laverne Cox. I mean, just because I wear booty shorts and halter tops does not mean I want male attention.
Is she saying that she does?
Laverne Cox is the trans woman from Orange is the New Black, I think.
Oh, okay.
I had a feeling that's who it was.
Okay, that makes sense now. Wow. She's actually suggesting that women who wear skimpy clothing are doing it for male attention.
I'm sure that would never happen.
No, I'm sure it wouldn't.
I mean, obviously that's the only way to dress.
Well, it might be. I mean, when it's hot in summer, I can understand wearing very light clothing. I can understand wearing shorts and
yeah, but I've seen almost non-existent dresses. They're so short in the middle of winter.
Yeah, that's when you're like, okay, you might be and now,
yeah,
obviously,
it can be excused away on a 40-degree day in the middle of summer. I don't know what that is in the American temperature scale. I don't know, 110 or something.
You're just saying they deserve to freeze.
But no,
you
in the
freeze
middle of
apologists.
winter
You
when
freeze-
someone wears practically nothing out in the middle of winter, and it's like 7 degrees or something.
I have seen men do that as well, and they tend to be a bit weird though.
Yeah, but surely they're doing it for attention. They're not dressing because of the weather.
Probably not.
Like I said, during summer, you can get away with it, but when someone does it in the middle of winter, I don't think dressing for the elements is an excuse.
Yeah, this is rape apology right here. We're automatically saying that by suggesting that women do this for male attention, we're also suggesting that they deserve to get raped or something because Kev. This is what Kev will say. We're picking on Kev.
He's just an MRA neckbeard, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. But what was it? Wasn't Manchi said he was an MRA, didn't she?
Yeah, I think she did. Something like that, anyway. Yeah. She attacked him, which is quite funny considering in his first anti-MRA video I pulled apart, he used a clip which was given to him by Manchis.
Yep.
In which he dishonestly edited Paul Elam out of context.
Well, she did.
Yeah, that's what I said. She did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he just played it as if it was factual. To give him credit, when I brought it to his attention, he acknowledged it. I don't know if he ever changed it though.
But he didn't do a video calling her out because that's what he demanded to decide.
No. Yeah, I know, double standards.
Not all men are like that.
Did I just hear that as a bad thing?
Let her go, see what else she says.
We need to stop privileging masculinity at the expense of femininity.
Is that wrong? Is that something you disagree with? Bane, help me here.
I got no idea. It's quarter past 3 in the morning, and I'm having trouble understanding exactly what point she's trying to make. I don't know if it's because it's so early in the morning or whether she's just I don't know.
We need to really think about how we can get more men involved. Like, this needs male allies. How can you say you are against gender when you have a problem with transgender?
I don't even. I don't even know at this point. She's being extremely incoherent.
But the Red Femmes believe all gender is social, don't they?
Yeah, it's a social construct, which
the entire thing
being transgender makes no sense. So there is a level of
So they're in the same camp as the fundamentalist Christians who believe that being gay is just taught to people.
Well, she does believe that, doesn't she? She thinks that you can choose to be a lesbian.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. Horseshoe.
More like horse shit, but anyway.
Cisgendered white men need to shut the fuck up.
Don't you also agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering if half of these are meant to be criticism or not.
Yeah. I'm not even sure, because she's also got a shit Radfem save, and I haven't actually watched that one, but I guess you're going to, like, you're going to pass out at some point very soon.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I think...
I'm starting to fade fast, so
yeah,
we might leave that for another time.
Yeah, we'll have to leave that for another... yeah, we'll have to leave that. So let's just go on with the last 7 seconds.
Yep.
See if we can survive this.
I hope a skunk crawls up your vagina.
Did a feminist say that to her?
How can you...
I might have to edit that out and use that somewhere.
That's shit liberal feminists say. Wow. Okay. Take that, please.
That's fantastic.
That's amazing. Well, we got to the end of, what's that, 3 videos? So is that, I guess, should we go now? This is the worst.
Yeah, I'm in the position where I want to do more because I'm enjoying this, but at the same time I'm fading rather fast. So
yeah, I know what you mean.
I don't know if I can. Let's just, before we go, let's see what's in the chat.
Yeah, let's see what's in the chat. Let's do you have anything you really want to say at the end of
Someone's gone, that explains the smell. I'm guessing that's in reference to the skunk comment.
That's brilliant. My penis is oppressing me. If you all subscribe to me, I'll break 500. Oh, positive, you and your pity subs.
Yeah.
Such a whore. Your
I was tempted to say something about his mum there, but I won't.
Kill you all.
I'll be nice, I'll be nice.
Someone thinks that Spino is a hypocrite. Yeah, I noticed that. It was some MGTOW guy who was complaining about some comments that I made. I'm gonna yeah, I need to explain those further. But yeah, I guess we're gonna have to end now.
Yep.
And just because the skull needs to be refilled.
Yeah, I'm about to pass out. You know what will happen though, right? shut everything down and go to bed, and I won't be able to get to sleep.
Oh, that's evil.
Don't you hate that? You know, you're watching a movie or something, and you're falling asleep during it. So you think, oh, I'll pause it here and I'll watch the rest tomorrow, and then you go to bed and you just can't sleep.
Yeah.
Has that ever happened to you?
That has happened.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The guy who was complaining at me was a troll. He's saying no one cares if you die, if it go suck Sargon's dick. Yeah. You know, you'll be taken a little more seriously if you don't like go full cabs every single time. Okay, so this is gonna no one's gonna watch this because it's like 3 hours long. So
Have we been going that long? Fuck.
Oh god. I don't actually know how long we've been going, but let's go.
All right, thanks, man. This has been fun. We'll do it again soon.
Yeah, and yes, please try and observe. Also, please try and observe my screen through the reflection of my glasses. That's actually quite funny.
What?
Someone just said they like to try and see what my screen looks like through my glasses from the reflection. That's great. Okay. Should I end it now?